Well, hello, it is me, Mimi Le Bonk, alias Sue Hodge. I'm playing, actually, Fairy Mimi Le Bonk this year in the pantomime Jack and the Beanstalk. What don't I love about panto? I mean, panto for me is, well, it's something that I was brought up with, dare I say, 14 years old with Charles Hawtrey. A lot of the younger generation might not know who that is, but the older ones might, from the Carry On movies. I don't do challenges, I just do it. I'm a yes person. I've probably been part of my problems through life. People always, yes or no. I'm definitely yes, always yes. Well, I was doing, believe it or not, Toe-to-Toad Hall, and I was spotted. I was playing Marigold in Toe-to-Toad Hall, and I don't know why, but Terry obviously saw something in me for his movie Brazil, so of which I played the Force of Darkness. Oh. I think it's wonderful that I'm famous and known for that in about 95 countries worldwide. It's given me so many opportunities to travel. You know, Australia. I've been to Australia 7 times now, not with a lower low, but because of a lower low. So as I say, it's given me a wonderful, wonderful life. Well, darling, look, I mean, you're still talking about it now. And here we are, and it's lovely because people say you haven't changed, so you haven't aged, so brilliant, because both Vicky and Michelle, who played the other waitress, we've always said we don't do age. And what's great is I'm back with old friends, Martin Daniels and lovely Joe Connors, although he's playing a baddie, he's not so lovely actually in the role, but Joe and I were together working on Annie in New Zealand.
My family have been involved in theatre quite a long time, and my great uncle was a guy called Alfred Marks, who was very well known throughout the theatre world and very much so in panto. Famously played Abanazar quite a lot, and I went on to play Abanazar in Aladdin. As I say, my family had always been involved in it, so I was always around theatre, but that was my first thing. And I think at that point I realised it was something I really wanted to do. I auditioned for Oliver, for the part of Oliver, and I went along and the casting director said, "You're never going to play Oliver. You're far too cheeky and streetwise, and even at that age." And they went, "However, you would make a perfect Artful Dodger." So that was my first intro into panto. I actually trained in an acting course, a 3-year acting course at one of the accredited drama schools in London. Came out and went straight into musical theatre, which I hadn't trained in at all, and had a massive career through musical theatre. I worked on Grease, I played Elvis in Elvis. I worked on Robin, Prince of Sherwood in the West End and toured that. I was in Joseph. Joseph is like the theatre equivalent of the Bill. If you've been in Joseph, you've been in musical theatre. I actually worked for Chris Moreno, our producer, on Annie. Did 2 national tours of that, and then we went abroad with it. Did a tour of New Zealand and a tour of Singapore and Hong Kong, and travelled all over. My first show when I came out of drama school, and it's still one of my favourites, was a show called Hair, which not a lot of people know now because it's gone out of vogue a little bit. But it was when it first came out, it was very controversial. It was the first show to have nudity on stage and to tackle political issues, and absolutely loved that. I did that tour in Europe, and we were actually in Germany, playing in Germany when the wall came down. So it was massively relevant at that point, and it still remains one of my favourite shows of all time. We, as British audiences, we have in our DNA that no matter what happens to the West End or touring shows or all these different things, we will always, as a nation, love pantomime.